Oh, that's painful. First things first. Super Die Mega Pack. Greetings, Vino, Quartland. Hey, thank you very much, Nubby Earwiggles, for continuing the tradition. Well, let's see. I think I've got my speakers pointed to other stuff. Let me get this set up. It's been so long since I've seen you all. Let's see. Can I get it out through that guy? There we go. Now I'll be able to hear you. So, I've been busy. I guess I haven't been on since all the fun server stuff happened because I was so busy Monday and yesterday and the weekend and all the other times I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys. Oh, actually, you can see... Let's see, can I get the camera over there? Come on, let me turn the camera a little bit more. Oh, I will turn this camera. Oh. That's what's left to ship out after 2 carloads to the post office. So I've got to... Actually, I take that back. 3 carloads technically, although only 2 have gone to the post office. My car is currently full of boxes. I just loaded them up. There, that's a good place. Oh, and then I've got the next room over is also full of boxes as well, so... but yeah, yesterday was a pretty good success. It took a little while to get going. It took us like 2 hours to get our first box shipped, as I tried to show people the ropes of how to ship stuff. Just so you guys know, since probably most of my team hasn't joined in yet, part of yesterday of having a shipping party was just so the team could understand how painful it was, the hundreds of boxes I've shipped, and appreciate those more. So I did feed them food. The food yesterday was, I'd been joking all week that Bobby Undone went and saved the servers in the middle of the night one night. Just had to reboot them or whatever to save them. Thank you very much, Snugsy1. Nice seeing you here. But anytime somebody would do something good, I would say, you've been upgraded to steak. Well, actually, I bought 6 pounds of steak from Costco, and everybody got steak. Although, actually, we had like 5 big New York strips, and I cut each one in half. So everybody got about a 9-ounce steak. I just heard Yordic Myers. I just went live. Yordic, good news. I'm only going to be on for about an hour because I want to get one more round to the post office so I can clean out at least one room of boxes. And also I need to have a little talk with Avatar Radio people as I try to figure out what we can do for those guys. On the box stuff, I don't know what the final number was, over 100. I don't know how many. I think we hit all. There were 22 people we didn't get who had either written me or written support, and some of those were due to technical reasons, like they said they're missing a box and we can't even find them anywhere in the system. So we're going to have to get back to a few of those. But I think we got everybody who requested, including somebody yesterday apparently heard about it yesterday and was like, oh man, I should have said something. I didn't think there's any point. And we got him too. So hopefully we got you, if you're one of the people who did not have a box. We also made sure to ship even people who had not requested for mini pledges. I forget what level we started at, but we just started at the top and basically we're working down through like Dukes and Lords and all that. So we still have some single box stuff to ship. Oh, and also if you bought a box after the fact, like through us, it was a signed box, all of those got shipped as well. Red Hammer missed one of mine. Did you get an email? Oh, so that's the other thing is yesterday. Again, I was training people because I was getting them to do the actual work. And so I could do steak and actually do a little bit of work on computer and, other stuff. And also, again, so they would appreciate how much fun it was shipping boxes. But apparently Wizard Smoke in the mail program, we just use like stamps.com for these individual shipping things. He had it set to show as my wife's company. So I've already had a handful of people write my wife's company, she has a little online boutique. It is, you guys should go hit it because she gets excited when she gets lots of visits in a day. Hold on, let me type it out. There we go. There you go. You can click that link. That's my wife's company. She gets excited when people click her link. But anyway, so it showed as shipping from her company that she does on the side, not her main job. And so everybody was writing her saying, "Who are you and why did you ship me a package?" And the question bot should be up. Hold on. Yes, the question bot should be up. So I don't have a giveaway going yet. I need to take care of that. And then I'll get back to important stuff like what we ate. Let's see. Let's do our first one. We'll just do something simple. I'm going to do 10 Disco Fever potions. 15 Disco Fever potions. I think the Die Mega Pack, Super Die Mega Pack is on sale. Oh, look at all those things. I don't want to ship that crap out. It's a lot of mails. And Yordic Myers, after I finish up, I'll raid you if you're online. Although I don't know who you are. Oh, and I'm falling behind here. Lancer Main. Lancel, thank you. Aloha. And thank you for the resub. And Skeggy Media, thank you for the host. And Legion of Myth, thank you for the raid. And the Maynard, thank you for 500 bits. 500 thank yous, kind sir. And again, thank you, Snugsy One. This is good. I haven't been on since Monday morning. I only have 7 emails. That means the world, it's not on fire. There's probably 1 or 2 people I missed on prizes. And I actually do know there's some people that I missed on prizes that I need to send out from like days ago. I actually have them written down. Trevor, Stu, Mosner, Hex, and Serenia I still owe prizes from like a stream where I wasn't at a mailbox. I will get those for you. Hey, Yordic. You're awfully small. But let's see. So yesterday, again, in addition to the stream or to the shipping, yes, it was steak, bulk steak from Costco. Potatoes, bulk potatoes from Costco. Corn, bulk corn from Costco. Corn on the cob that I put out on the grill and did. You see a theme forming there. And then we had a couple salmon burgers for the people who wanted to pretend they were healthy. And I forget what else, but anyways, total meal was only like $60, I think, out of pocket. So, plus a lot of elbow grease on my part. But I think it all turned out well. Everybody had a good time. It was a bit of a party. I wasn't really thinking it would be a party, but one and only's wife came, and she made Jello shots. And if there's Jello shots there, it's a party. Although I think she may be the only one who actually took Jello shots or did the Jello shots. I think a few other people might have tried it, but yeah, and I know it was good, or it was not a super party because I've got like 7 bottles of scotch, and I ended the day with 7 bottles of scotch. So usually that's what'll go first. Not a big team of drinkers, I think. But let's see. Again, shipping stuff. We shipped lots of stuff. I still have more runs to the post office, so they're probably not all going to get shipped today, but you should have gotten an email. We still have some more to deal with. Let's see. What other excitement did I have from... Oh, let me go to the server stuff now that we're up getting close to 100 people. No, Griffler, do not come drink my scotch. I think I can get plenty of offers for the local people for drinking my scotch. Let's see. Server stuff. Now that we're up to close to 100 people, let me talk about server stuff. So, this all started like last week sometime. A big storm came through, which had absolutely nothing to do with our servers, but did have to do with how long, it did impact how long it took to get things back up. Didn't have anything to do with our servers. The data center never lost power. Maybe there's some minute fluctuations, but this machine was the same one that dropped a few weeks ago, that the power went out and I had to go up in the morning and reset it. And we replaced that box. So yay, a whole new box. Except the problem is because we lost 4 boxes at one, I didn't have the proper type box ready to go and smoke tested. It was kind of ready to go, so I took it down there and threw it in. And sure enough, we didn't have a chance to smoke test it. Hey, guess what? Bad memory on it. So servers use ECC memory, which is error checking and correcting, which, just so you know, that's what I think the ECC stands for, ECC RAM. But that is absolute bullcrap. It does not really check and correct. What it does do is it can give you warnings if your memory is starting to die rather than just corrupting things. So that's what actually happened, was we have some ECC memory on that node we had it on that was dying. So the first time it died, that's when Undone went up and earned his stake by going in the middle of the night to reset the box. And he didn't do anything other than just like turn it off, turn it back on. So of course we were like, well, guess that's going to be coming back up as a problem again here any day now. So I actually went in the very next morning, 4 hours later or whatever, and had built out 4 flash drives so I could go and run mem-test on them. So I ran mem-test on the other 3 nodes as a smoke-in for those guys. And one day later, the next morning, is when the server died again. I think that was Saturday morning. Was that Saturday morning or Sunday morning? It all blurs together. But that was that third outage that we had, that after not having outages for years, we had 3 outages. It was one server dying, replacing it with another server, and then having that one have ECC memory failures. But now we have it on one that has been through a smoke test, and it should be good. So knock on wood or whatever's around you. Hopefully that's going to be stable for a while. And I'm in the process of going through all of our hardware and pre-smoke testing it, so we don't have that type thing happen again. 1 second. Waiting on the dog. There you go. Good dog. Annoying, but good dog. But anyway, so if it happens again, we've got another backup. And actually, because I want to get all this crap out of my house, now I'm getting these boxes out of my house. It's actually feeling like I might be able to recover my house soon and be back to a normal life. So I'm trying to get those all smoke tested, set up, and I'm going to take them and install them in the data center, even if they just sit there unplugged. So, the current machine it's on, now that we're making all of our plans, assuming, because we did lose, for those who don't know the nodes that we put these things on, they're on nodes, which is basically, it's a server box, 2U rack, and it's got 4 nodes in it, and each node is a full dual processor Xeon server. But this is the first time we'd actually seen 4 of them die, because there's not many moving parts that are in the whole machine, beyond the power supplies, which it has double redundant power supplies. So anyway, so now we're making all of our plans. We had been making our plans on like 1 or 2 boxes going out. Now we're making all of our plans on 4 boxes going out at once. So that's going to be what's keeping me busy for a while, and what's making me lose sleep for a while. Is my eye twitching? Let's just say less sleep than normal for a while here, so I get all these things done. But also, this is going to impact me a little bit. Grumpy, hold on 1 second. I'm going to go do something, and I'll get this going here. rather than just looking at a wall. I'm going to get the printer set up on this computer. I've got it set up in there, but I'm going to move it in here so I can actually print stuff on the fly, because that's actually going to be something I do over the next few weeks, is when I'm on stream, if you have something and you're one of the people like who didn't get a box or you want to buy a box, I'll probably put some boxes up for sale or some trinkets up for sale and just ship them right then on the stream. So let me get that set up in just a minute, and I will ship that to you right now. Is that where you're a grumpy crab never rather than a happy crab never? But let's see, what other stuff? We do also, right now we're not planning on buying new servers because it looks like we're going to have at least 2 full nodes of backups, which is 8 boxes. We still are being cheap bastards on some licensing stuff, which is why we're not running 2 game servers. We actually are running 2 game servers. We have 2 licenses for the one piece of software we have to license. But one of them is on the QA server, one's on live. So that's why we don't currently have them set up to fall over automatically if one fails. It's because right now there's one on each of those 2. So we... Also, the other things where the storm comes in, I forgot to mention that part. So the storm didn't cause the outage. That was a miscommunication between Keith, Sanyo, and Star, that Sanyo theorized, like said on the channel, the storm caused a server outage, because he apparently was having huge lightning over there. To which Star then echoed to the forums, which was actually not true. The storm did not cause it, which then led to, of course, the usual trollish type people saying, what kind of 2-bit operation are you running? Well, we are 2-bit operation, but we're not that 2-bit. We do actually have the stuff in a data center that has multiple redundant backups and its own generators and all the other jazz, and 2 different power grids to make sure, and then we have dual power supplies, so if either of the power grids go out, we should be doing, it shouldn't happen that we actually lose power up there. 2 bits for you, Mr. Arca Hemp Strike. But anyway, so we're not that much of a 2-bit operation. Is that where you're going? 2 bits? Now I get it. But anyway, so we're trying to get that set up a little better so we have some quicker ways we can move things over without us having to pay any extra out of pocket. Let's see. I'm trying to think. The other thing was I think 2 bits? 4 bits for sure. Now we're up to 4 bits. Great. But anyways, we're trying to make sure we've got stuff so we can easily switch over. One of the other things we haven't done, which we did have done at one time, but we undid, which is, again, this is servery talk stuff. Since this is, I'm a tech guy and I do tech talks, I'll do some tech talk here on BMCs. Anybody know BMCs? It's like the base motherboard controller or something. But it is basically, servers have kind of a little virtual PC that lives in the server. That's the main controller for the board. And what it allows you to do is you can put an extra net connection to connect to that. And it has different names. For Supermicros, it's IPMI. For Dell, it's called iDRAC, I think is what they call theirs. But anyways, it lets you, even when the machine is completely locked up, frozen, whatever, powered off, you can remote into the BMC, IPMI or iDRAC or whatever it is, and you can basically get a web browser. Here's control what's going on the computer, and you can reboot it, and you can do everything, and you can do all the low-level stuff. Again, like rebooting it or powering it on remotely. Maybe the OS is completely locked up. The BMC will let you go in and get a screen, see what is on the screen showing up on that thing. So, but, here's the but. And no, not the BMC is in that BMC, the other BMC. BMC can control the computers. No, this is the, again, the base, I think it's base mainboard controller or motherboard controller. But we don't have them hooked up because there were some security issues that came up with them. So we have them all disconnected to make sure no one can hack into them. We have the patch form so we can go in and patch the BIOS, but it takes a while. And then the other part of that is we'd have to pull down the server just for that. So rather than doing that and keep the BMC set up, we just keep the IPMI, the extra port, nothing plugged into it. So anyways, it should be completely protected no matter what anyways, because really all we have to do is get behind our secure wall and then we should be able to connect to them, but just for safety's sake, we are avoiding it. Pub rules, I repaired Dell. Yeah, we have a mix. We have 4 Dell boxes, and right now we have 4 super micro quad nodes up there is kind of what we're running. For the active boxes, there's some idle boxes up there too that are, again, just backups. But yeah, no real preference. My only big thing I hate about Dells, since we have a Dell person out there, is how long they take to boot. Oh my god, like rebooting one, it's nightmares. And some of these things you do, you have to like reboot it like 3 or 4 times, and like each boot is multiple minutes of just sitting staring at 20 different 7 boot screens. Turn on quick boot for the BIOS. I don't think the Dells have a quick boot. Henry Tarlian, that's actually what we did have done for our IPMIs or iDRACs, which is we have a, obviously have a firewall set up, and then we have a VPN behind the firewall stuff. And basically we had it set so you'd VPN into the switch and then connect all of them. But again, just being super paranoid and not keeping them hooked up. But that is another one of the things now as we look at those things. Like, it never been a problem before, so we're just like, yeah, who needs it? We don't need it. Now that we've had a couple of problems, 2 problems back to back, we are reconsidering that. We may actually have like another brief downtime, like minutes downtime, to do that patch at some point in the future. Because now it's costing. Now we've lost out on our gamble. And I have to drive to the data center, which is completely across town. Let me think. Let me tell you about stuff that's been going on. So I don't think it's any surprise to anyone out there that I have been busy on stuff. I still have not submitted the ELF rooms with the latest updates. I will get those submitted for sure before the release. I did also today just finish up another dozen artifacts. That's one of those things I can do, kind of my, I refer to it as raking sand type things, which is just go and convert. It's a ton of data, it's a ton of clicks, it's a ton of raking the sand. The relaxing stuff. I needed some relaxing stuff. But the ones being updated for this release so far are the Belt of the Brutal Butcher, the Belt of the Ox, the Belt of the Patient Harvester, all the crap ones. What? I'll get to some that are not crap here. Ring of Cat's Grace. I know that's crap to you guys. You don't care about Safe Fall at all. I think it's fun. The Cuddlekin Ring, which actually looking at it, that was kind of a bug. Belt of the Ox is OP. It is a little OP. It is for those who are trying to haul tons of crap around. I think the Belt of the Ox gives plus 300% base carry capacity. I think if you get it up to Legendary, I think it goes up to plus, I think it's 50% each one. So I think it goes 250 for the common one that'll be dropping at some point, 300 for the one you guys have, 350% for the rare, and then 400% for the legendary. So the legendary is only a little bit better than the other one. But the Ring of the Cuddlekin, this was actually kind of a bugged item. I don't think most people realized it was one that One and Only, who may be watching right now, created, that he wanted to do something fun. And we were kind of looking at like doing like give like a Predator look type thing. But he got that working, but I think he copied the Ring of Frogkin. So the Ring of Cuddlekin had a jump on it, and at some point people were complaining, why does the Ring of Cuddlekin jump higher than the Ring of Frogkin? You should fix that and make the Frogkin jump high too. To which I said, WTF, the Cuddlekin ring makes you jump? because I didn't know it made you jump. So anyways, so that's why the Cuddlekin has jump, in case you're wondering why that doesn't make sense, but it does it anyways. It's because the unintentional copy and paste of the Frogkin ring by somebody. Not me for a change. Yeah! But anyways. But since people were attached to it, and it wasn't worth a nerf, fighting for a nerf over it, it doesn't really do that much. I went ahead and left it in there. But I did want to add different levels of the Frogkin and Cuddlekin ring. And I didn't want to add more jump to them, because that's already fairly broken for a few places. What was it supposed to do besides the visual? It's only supposed to have the visual. But now it will actually give, depending on the level, it will also give the additional stat of, I think the Cuddlekin just gives a flat dex bonus. I think it gives like maybe 3, 5, 8, and 10 for the different levels. And then the Frogkin ring also gives you a dodge bonus. Again, that's fairly small, like plus 10 or 15. Yeah, I debated that because I know anytime I add something like, oh, I've now made this item desirable. Okay, people are always going to wear it. Okay, now everybody in the game looks freaky Cuddlekin predator looking thing. But anyway, so Cuddlekin ring, which will actually have stats. You're not going to be able to jump higher. You're not going to be more distorted or whatever. You will get a dex bonus from it, but that means the existing ones will get a dex bonus too. So Ring of the Deep Woods is another one. I know, worthless. Oh no, Deep Woods is actually, I think that's pretty cool, and I think that's the one I added that is like plus moon and plus earth attunement. Let's see. Frogkin ring, I mentioned that. Ring of the Gambler. And Pax ring. Spider silk belt. Spider leg staff. And then the Bow of Zen. Now the Bow of Zen will not do more damage, but there's some other stats on it that will go up. And as with all of these, I've been doing them, the things that have a plus and a minus, I leave the common ones. What I try to do is the ones you have become the uncommon ones. So there's a common one that'll be a higher drop rate or lower tier drop rate possibly. That'll be a little weaker. And then of course rare and legendary will be a little higher, but the negatives for the items stay the same. They're whatever the level is at uncommon. So as you get higher on the scale, it doesn't increase both the negatives and the positive. It only increases the positives. But never a ton. No Wand of Undying Embers yet. These things are broken up into directories based on what release I did them in. And those are release 60 items, and I think maybe release 61. So I'm working my way backward right now through the days. And I may do some more. I almost did the Cutlass of the Swashbuckler. I will get to that. And maybe I can do some more here. Still got, tomorrow is supposed to be lockdown, but I'm going to miss tomorrow because it is our first play date for Maxine with our school, which now learning about how school stuff goes, we're taking advantage of every play date we can. This is the school she's going to start in. Because of all the crazy security, you can't go to the classrooms and like meet up with the teachers or meet up with the other parents. And so basically you have to drop your kid off and they go through like security area. And that's it, and they're to the class. And then when they come back out, it's the same stuff. So the only way to really meet parents is through one of these meetups. So we're going to these meetups. Super critical, so we can try and meet Maxine's future friends, make some friends in the area. Let's see. But anyway, so that's one thing that's going on. I think some people saw that I mentioned I increased the damage absorption cap for people with heavy armor specialization. Again, though, it's not going up to 100%. It's like if you have 80 heavy armor spec, you'll never be able to get it to 100%. But if you have like an 80 armor spec and you were already able to get there. You could get as high as a 0.9. Amber Rain, that welcome to America. That is kind of what I said too. Yeah, schools are now like, metal detectors, and parents aren't allowed beyond the safety zone. Yeah, that type of stuff, like sign in, sign out, to go and have lunch with your kid. There's rules for even going to have lunch with your kid if you want to go have lunch. So we're trying to take advantage of everything we can. And yes, that is the America we live in now. Getting ready to arm our teachers here in Texas, I think. Oh, hold on. I'm sure some very important. No. Wife messaging me stuff. Also, Pet Heal Power Boost. The Pet Heal got a power boost. Long overdue. I actually increased the amount of the Pet Heal and decreased the total value. I think I went over some of this stuff on the Friday stream, so I think some of this may be dupes for you guys. But again, you know what? It's actually because I'm doing a kind of short stream today because I got to go talk to some people about some important business. I'm going to go and do the first drawing right now. Hate that, which lurks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the bits. All right, going to close the giveaway. Hope you all raffled. Sure you all raffled. Raffle, raffle, raffle. Let's see. Do. All right, surely that's enough. Surely. Nope, you guys are still signing up there. All right, I'll give you another minute here. Okay, now I'm going to close it and do the giveaway. Close. Pick a winner. Foo Bunny. Foo Bunny on you. Let me see if I have disco potion. Yeah, I got 16 of them. Awesome. Who are you, Foo Bunny? You're not Foo Bunny. Are you Foo Space Bunny? Nope. Oh, and thank you. Oh, and Zon Trexum, aka Zon. Thank you, 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 and thank you for the bits. And Canet, thank you for the bits. Thank you. All right, there we go. Circe, Phoenix, Fire. Got it? Got it. I'll give you 15 potions headed your way. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's do one of these fire elemental statues. That's pretty cool. Nope, and apparently Maynard likes the fire elemental statue. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Maynard. Thank you, 10 times. Thanks. Huge thanks. Let me see if I can think of any more recap stuff I need to have for you guys, or give you guys, and then I'll go into answering some of the questions you guys have asked. There's some talk on radio stuff, but I don't want to talk about it yet because I'm about to meet with some people to actually have a real talk on it. But we're talking about a couple things. One is what we can do to keep Avatar's radio around. I think that rumor is leaked out about quite a bit because I've had a bunch of people ask me about it. So we're working on that, but we're also working on the other thing we want to make sure people know is if somebody else starts a radio station, we will gladly add it to the interface. That's not something that is exclusively for NBNN or Avatar's Radio or something else. The other thing is I'm going to start giving a 10% of my stream that I'm going to donate to a radio fund for anybody who's running the internet radio stuff for us. Which, again, if multiple people are doing it, if multiple people need help, we will help. I will just split that fund. Again, try not to do too much, but 10% works out to, I think we did like maybe last month, thanks to your amazing generosity. I think the stream made about $2,300, so that'd be about $230 a month, which is enough to cover at least some radio stuff for people. But anyways, we'll try and nail that down. The other thing we're working on is I'd still have to formalize the document for the stream reward stuff. They're going to be changing up how we do bits with streamers, just to try and make sure we keep people on a level playing field. And for some people, that'll mean that they will get more crowns in game, more free crowns, and for some people, it mean they will get less. But we're going to be looking at there's a bunch of different Steam charts that show, or not Steam charts, stream charts that show how many viewer eyes people have while streaming our game. So we'll be going off of some of those and setting some numbers on those. And that's so we want to make sure and reward these guys, like Elgarion and some of these other guys who stream a ton, Famines and Dulane and some of these other guys who stream a ton and give great content. We want to make sure that they get extra crowns for giveaways, because if not, like if you're streaming 100 hours a month and you get the same amount of time and have 40 people on your stream on average, and then there's another guy who's streaming 20 hours a month and has 10 people on the stream, then like the crowns, if we give you all the same number of crowns, then obviously the guy with a smaller audience and shorter amount of time does more giveaways and that type of stuff. We want to make sure it's kind of proportional to that stuff. So anyways, the short version is it'll probably help the top streamers out there and lower it for some of the others. But we'll still do like a welcome pack where we do some, and I don't think it'll impact that many people that much. And the other things, we'll always still give away some more other like non crown things. We just got to be careful on the crowns, trying to make sure we keep that fairly balanced so the system doesn't get gamed. Let's see. I was going to take a look at the Haunted Mansion of Solania, but it's already 2:37. I don't think I'm going to have time, so I'm going to hit that one up tomorrow. I'm planning on streaming tomorrow, but it all depends on how my play date goes. Play date with kindergartners. But I think that's in the morning, not in the afternoon. So if it's in the morning, then I will definitely be on. I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow afternoon. If I'm not on, the other thing I'm trying to do is, again, just because there's this perception by some people that Shroud the Avatar is one guy making the game by himself, doing everything, and trying to make sure people get, there's more devs with eyes on them and more devs talk to people. So I think you saw on Monday, I think both Keith and Travis did some streaming in my place. So what is this? What? All right. I guess I have deco property or privileges for this town. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know we put these things out there. That's the other thing is like, oh, what? Be able to hide a little better if you didn't have a pet with him. Let's see. What other stuff was going on? Again, doing a bunch of performance stuff. One of the things we'd been seeing was some correlation. Strong correlation between frame rate people saw on the first level and in the new user experience, and whether or not they quit. Shocking, I know. If you come into the first level of game and you have bad frame rate, you're less likely to stay. So I went and looked, and actually the initial frame, the Solus Bridge starter experience, was actually well below the average frame rate for the entire game. So it was lower than a lot of like towns and pots and stuff. And it's the starter. So I went and I actually did some tune-up on that and cut draw calls by more than 2/3. I had Travis redo the terrain, went and looked at what was causing problems and fixed a bunch of stuff. So anyways, it's now, hopefully, I think that is going to be the biggest thing we've done for the new user experience. But we'll see. We all place bets because we all like, I think this is what causes players to leave. I think this is what causes players to leave. We'll see. I think it's going to improve things. Let's see. What other stuff did I have? Let's see. Moved to town. Another pot to be a no ransom. That is going to be Silverdale for Z of Silverdale. Let's see. I think I already mentioned this. Stewards can now use a slew command. Optimization stuff. More optimization stuff. There's a problem with the deck. Two problems with that. This is performance stuff that hits everybody. Even when you weren't in combat, the deck was running full logic as if you had your deck up there. Even though it's not visible. So one, that was actually taking like a half millisecond or more, which again doesn't sound like a ton. But if you're trying to do 60 frames a second, that is, you got to do it in 16 milliseconds. You got to do the whole frame. So a half millisecond out of 16 milliseconds, you're talking like 1/20th of the frame was spent updating a combat bar that wasn't visible. Again, this is one of those things that has probably always been like that, but until recently I couldn't profile at full speed, so I couldn't actually see it. Because if you have a 200 millisecond frame, that doesn't even show up. But if you're actually in 16 millisecond frames, that shows up. So anyways, and then I also did some optimization to make that faster in general, but now it won't process if it's hidden and it's faster. Let's see. Disco potion work. That's probably about it. And then, of course, the thing I don't have on my list of stuff I did was going to the data center, I think 5 times. Mojito is over there. He's kind of being grumpy today. But a lot of the team members had never met Mojito, and I finally got to meet him. Let me see if I can get his camera up. Let's see, video capture device. Mojito. There we go. Except there he is under the covers. Hey buddy, where's the camera looking? Is the camera looking at you? There we go. Mojito has finally returned. I got some more hardware stuff worked out. Let's see. Hold on, I'm going to send somebody a message right now. Hey, thank you again, Maynard. You're feeling very generous today, and I appreciate it. And now, people who run radio stations will appreciate it too. Aha, misspelled. I owed somebody a cloak. Give me 1 second to get that done. Then I'm going to dive into some questions for you guys. I took a ton of questions for the 2-hour stream on Friday that I didn't get answered, but I did save them as always. Uh-oh. Sark can give me bits. 2 bits. Rose bouquet. Oh, that's so sweet. Is that something I can carry? Aww. Got some roses. Let's see. Mojito, I showed that you were there, and now you're getting up and leaving. Oh, you can see a soccer ball in the picture there, too. That's Maxine's. Fizzle, I have not had luck with a specialization. I think, again, that was right when you were... I realized what the actual problem was, that it's casting the buffs on them, but the buffs aren't actually giving them bonuses, is when the world caught on fire multiple times with various things. Mainly the server being out. It seems my world is always on fire. Alright, see, this is the problem then. Now I gotta take care of the dog. Get in there. Watch, this is how he does every time. He's getting super picky about his bed. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for getting Mojito a new bed. Come on, get in there. Yep. Couple rotations. Maybe he'll... Nope. Thinking about it. Nope. Maybe. Hours of entertainment right there. Good dog. And again, thank you, Maynard. Oh, thank you, Breel McPherson as well. And also thank you, Schleif, for the host. Let's see. And let me reply to this guy and tell him I just sent him his cloak. And then I will answer your questions. Let's see. There we go. Arca the Flea. Anyways, let me get back and go find those questions real quick. All right, I'm going to work backwards. Sagewise, will we ever have the ability to make metal frames and panels? It would be neat to be able to craft parts of interior buildings. Parts to make internal clockwork style interiors. Thanks. Sage. That's from Sagewise. And that's one of those things, again, I mentioned I've prototyped and looked at a few times, and I know we could do it. It hasn't been a priority, which is the same system the dungeon uses is basically expanding that some more so that we have dungeons basically are just decos with connection options to them. That can also, the decos with connection options to them that can also have built-in nav meshes. And guess what? That can expand to other stuff like what you're talking about, which is being able to snap together a house. Just setting up how it connects and checking for collisions and checking connection points. Again, it's one of those things that the tech is almost there already, and we could allow it, but it is one that would take a lot of testing and data setup and those type things, so I've kind of pushed off on it. Right now there's a lot of stuff for dungeons that I want to do. I'm still hoping to get the teleporter in, the dungeon teleporter, that will basically, you can place down, there'll be at least one craftable type of teleporter, but if you set down 2 of the same type of teleporters anywhere, you'd step into one, it'll teleport you to a random different one. So I'm still hoping to have that one in for this release. The Travis is, I think he's got some VFX emitters that he's got set up, and that's one of the questions is how to do we just make it so you can put this in a dungeon, put as many as you want to in the dungeon, or do we make it so it is something you can use in a town, and then just make it cost a bunch, like make it cost, maybe go on the light scale where it counts as a light if you use it in town. But we're still looking at those options. But yeah, he had a few of those and they were already looking cool. I'm not sure how many he'll get together, because he's also been hit with a ton of extra work for this release. If you want to be shrunk, just come see me in Ordinus Mortis. Oh, and you will be shrunk. Let's see. So I've not done anything for taming for this release yet. I may still get there, but again, tomorrow is a lockdown, and I'm trying to be somewhat good. And I still have a little bit of work to do on dungeon rooms, because I still need to test. I've got the Rise main chamber, that giant chamber in the middle of the Rise. I turned that into a dungeon piece, but right now, like, it's offset some, and I can't figure out why. But like, you connect stuff, and the pieces leave a gap, which I'm sure dungeon people have seen that before with others. But I'm trying to get that going. I want to get that. I'm considering making that spawn. It may just be like a through chamber or something like that. We will see. But try and get that in there for sure. Try and get the elf rooms finished and tested. And what? How did he fix his size? Nonsense. And what else? I've got to look at some stuff. I want to look at why the buffs on pets aren't fixing things. I've got a couple other bugs. I've got to do the potion that makes you grow and be green. And I forget what else I have. I think I've got a few other things that are on my list. But anyways, let me check my list and see if any of this stuff in there. Oh, and I wanted to do something for the two-handed bludgeoned guys. This is going to be a release for them. And I boosted the Ring of Wisdom already. Making deco pets invulnerable. I'm not sure why that is that they're vulnerable. But I was going to go through and try to take a pass on those. Wyvern Destroyers, that would be good. Right now I'm more concerned with the thing I would do if I had a few minutes free, which I may have a few minutes free this weekend. But if I had some time free, I'd probably be going and tuning up the visuals for the various destroyers so that they look cooler. Rather than just being like, hey, it's the same thing, only slightly bigger. Actually going and trying to make some paint variations. Maybe make them drool or something like that. What do you think? Just have like a drip VFX that comes out of their mouth at all times. And yeah, red glowing eyes. Then I'll get to the wyverns. But again, that's my other thing I actually started on, found some models for, is getting some big cats. But I haven't actually got them in game yet, so. Blame 8-year-old hardware dying. And box shipping. Let's see. Let me get back to answer a few more questions here, because I'm not long for this world. I'm going to wrap things up in about another 15 minutes or so I can have a couple of different meetings. When will we get Destroyer level wyverns? Soonish? We're going to have them. There's no reason we don't have them already, other than I think they were the newest pets, so we left them there. Left them alone. Sagewise, Atos, did the other team members you sent request to look up dye white lights, say it's possible or not? It's possible. We're going to look into it. It's not trivial. There's a little bit of work to go with it. And again, just because this release, the other thing we were trying to get done for this release was get moved over to 2019. That has turned into an absolute disaster, and will probably not happen this release. Actually, right now, looks like my frame rate isn't bad or anything like that, but the VFX for the spells comes from where their hand normally is, not where their hand is when after I shrink them. But yeah, there's oh man, I forgot what I was thinking of. I got distracted by the little guys. Hold on. Oh yeah, the light. So that was yeah. So there's some work to be done with it. It's not going to be horrible, but it was more than a few minutes, and we've just had way too much stuff going on right now. Can the frame rate be looked at for Kroll? Out of any adventure scene, that seems to be the choppiest I've experienced. Let's go look. Is it Kroll? One L. I will take a look. What's going on here? Why are these cats on fire? What just happened? Let's see. Let me check the Alright, so I'm not having any frame rate challenges yet. I completely believe you, though. Some of this, as to whether... Oh, my goodness. Oh, what? Why did this... Son of a... You know what? Oh, I can't. Oh, my Unity editor's broken right now. Because I was working on 2019 and it broke some stuff. I was going to say I'll go fix that, because I think that's killed me before. Is there's like just enough of a ledge right there where those two things meet that you run into it, and instead of going forward, it kind of shoots you off to the side. Yeah, we should fix that. Oh, you know what? Oh, no, I've got my flowers out. I'm good. All right. Hold on, I'm going to find... I'm sure there's some places in here that are... or bad frame rate, but yeah. Let me make sure also I'm on good video or better. Oh, I'm on fastest. There's the problem. So again, I'm on a pretty beefy machine here. Where did I get stuck and fall in? Is that... It's probably lower down or something. Nope, frame rate's dropping. Off of 60, I'm on 50 now. 45. Come on, die. Yeah, I may need an exact position so I can figure out what's going on. I am not using like a crazy GPU. I'm on a NVIDIA 2060. So not like a 2080 or a 1080 Pi or anything like that. It's like I think I paid like $300 for it. And they just came out, of course, like a week after I buy it, they come out with the 2060 Super, which is pretty much the same thing, only a little faster. But anyway, so it's not a crazy video card or anything like that. But that can be a sign that if people are having problems here, the problem may be CPU bound, not GPU bound. Really annoying, Gunner. Alright. Yeah, so far I'm not seeing anything. Yes, better than your $60 card. Actually, look over there, look. When we do our frame rate logging stuff, we do actually log locations, and we have some heat map stuff. I can come look in here. Looks like this direction might be the problem. Who did that? Let me clear out a few of these kitty cats. Yeah, the blade deck's not the best option for these guys. Who knew these things didn't bleed? Oh, man, how many are there? And that'll be one thing that'll be telling is if I kill these guys and then the frame rate goes up. Because that'll mean it's definitely a CPU bogged down thing. It doesn't seem like it. I'm gonna guess, and here's where you're having the problems. I'll have to look. Our Vandal, so it depends. The question is, should we expect mostly 60, like with a crazy GPU? No, and that's the big thing I work on a lot, is trying to fix CPU problems, because that's in a lot of cases people are CPU bound. If you have a good video card, you're almost certainly going to be CPU bound in problem areas. And again, that mostly comes from a lack of good threading. Threading was not a thing Unity did until somewhat recently, and now that they have some ways to do some threading, much of their engine is still not thread safe. So yes, there's some options. We can do some of the like the DOTS stuff, where basically data driving thing with their new system, but again, that involves rewriting. And also there's just only so many things that we can do threaded when most of Unity engine is not thread safe. So we are looking at things we can do, but right now most stuff is not threaded. We have things threaded wherever we can. We're continuing to work on moving some things over. I think I mentioned last time that we're doing some threading. We're doing using the DOTS system now for the birds, the flocking bird stuff. But again, the applications, it's really hard to do like AI stuff in here, especially when the AI is not built with threading in mind. The AI actually has some threading, but a lot of the stuff it calls back to Unity is not going to be threaded. But anyways, we're keeping our eyes on what things we can thread, but we're still CPU bound in a lot of cases. And actually there'll be, again, this release, there's going to be a number of optimizations. There's going to be another thing that was a big killer for us has been our UI, and that it just wasn't built with, it's built on NGUI for those who are familiar with the different UI systems available for Unity. So it's built on NGUI, but NGUI doesn't really handle thousands of UI elements that we have. And that's not an exaggeration, it's in the thousands. But anyway, so I did some optimizations for that this release, having a better dirty system on a few things, so it's not recalculating stuff every frame. Die. But yeah, so CPU bound is almost certainly the problem. And again, I can't profile right now because my editor's busted. It's actually why I decided to stream a little early, is because my editor is doing a full re-import on the project right now. And yes, that's a lot of UI. Yeah, and that's, again, this release will be a little bit better in terms of frame rate as I continue to hammer down now that we've actually got the profiling tools let us get some modest results. The problem before, not sure how techy you are, but the problem we had before was when you would profile, the frame rate during the profile would go to 3 frames a second, which totally distorts what is going on in the frame. So now we're actually able to see more of what's going on, and so I fixed a number of things this release. Because yeah, I want to look good for my streams. I don't always be 60, even though I got my crappy, well, modest video card. Not crappy. 2060s aren't horrible, by the way. Not as good as a 2070 or 2080 or 2060 Turbo or any of those things, but it's probably up there in the, what's the AMD equivalent, like the 580 or something. Yeah, so now we're getting down into the 30 frame rate here. Yeah, and you can look at your task manager while you're doing these things and see that, I guess I should fight back instead of dying, huh? Yeah, like my GPU is not anywhere near loaded. This is CPU bound, and again, not truly CPU bound, just single threaded bound. But again, Unity continues to add some more stuff and improving what we can do. Moving physics off the main thread, there's actually some calls now we can do some of that, and again, try to do some of that for this release. We're actually spending a little bit more time on audio than I would have thought we were spending. What? Come on, just die. Don't kill me. I didn't cheat enough. Alright, so it seems there's some areas in there when I was moving around there, I was getting it down to, I think I saw it down into the high 30 range. I just saw Elron enter the raffle, which reminds me to mention crafting stuff. So the crafting, I think the current plan for the crafting stuff, we were supposed to talk about yesterday and forgot about it. But it is the first round of stuff is going to go live in this release. That'll be the reroll option. So one of the challenges, and this is a good talking point just because it, again, makes you guys aware of design stuff and how we try to think about things and try not to duplicate old errors, old design errors, and human nature is kind of the bigger thing rather than design. Those two go hand in hand. So we're looking at how combat does specialization. That was kind of the plan, I think the simple plan that had been thrown out long ago was crafting specialization, just like combat specialization. That's not very well thought out. So I sat down, thought about it, and was working through some of that. So I mean, the way the combat specialization works is it makes you have to make a choice. You can kind of pick where you want to spend those two things. So it's one of the few things that has a choice. So in combat, with combat specialization, combat is kind of continuous and serial. There's not a good option to, like, I'm going to have one character who's going to be, bludgeon specialist and heavy armor, and then this other guy is going to be life specialized and ice or water specialized. It's not like you can swing and hit a creature and then log out and get the other guy on to heal yourself and then log him out and log the other guy back in and swing again, and but in crafting, that's kind of how the world works. So if you want to, you can put one thing on something and then hand it off to the next guy for him to do. So that has some good stuff, but really what it would force, and this is kind of one of those things we're trying to avoid, is we're trying to avoid going forward. I know there's some tedious stuff out there, but going forward, we're trying to avoid forcing tedious gameplay mechanics that you feel like you have to do just to be competitive with everybody else. In this case, that would be if we limited you to 1 or 2 specializations, all that's going to do, especially now that there's the shared experience pool, which I'm not a fan of, by the way, and argued against, but didn't argue enough, apparently. But if you have a shared experience pool, then all it's going to do is, if we limit you to 1 specialization, hey, guess what? You're going to have, how many character slots do you need? Like, you want to do 3 different things as specialized? And you're going to log out and log in on the other guy, log out, log in on the other guy. It's not really limiting things, and it's really just forcing more of a tedious mechanic on you. So we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to avoid just forcing another tedious mechanic on you, where the best way to play is to do something that is not game related. It's to basically log out one character and log in another character. We're trying to avoid that. So specialization will probably not be limited. It will be expensive to get up, but I'll look and see what it's currently set at. But it'll probably be, each one of them will be the most expensive skill in any of crafting. It'll probably be on par with the others, or it may be a 20x skill. Again, because we're trying to get you to make some choices on those things. So just limiting you to pick one isn't going to do that, because that's just going to force a log out and a log back in. So anyways, that's just one thing. It will be coming on basically what we said, but we probably won't be limiting it to a single school or category. And again, this is the first step, is having the specialization, and there will probably be some things that we do for specialization again that open up new enchantments, masterworks. 30 seconds to res. Oh, looks like they respawned on me, so I'll die immediately. $12 to res. Let's see. What? I didn't know that put me back to the entrance. I put that away. Oh, and I need to do another raffle here, so I hope you're raffled up, because I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to... Pipester, on your question, taking a crafting skill to 145 just for the 30% chance of exceptional is a little rough. I think that's a lot rough. You're investing a ton for almost nothing. Can exceptional chance get a look at? So that's one we don't worry as much about, because if you look at the total cost to players of that, just because it's in the very first step of crafting, it means, you know right away whether, sure, it makes it 3 times as tough, but like if we made it tougher on the future steps. Like, that's a lot more wasted items just because it's the initial step and you know right away, is this like a crap item or is it an exceptional item? I do think that's kind of crazy, though, the 145 skill for 30%. But yeah, I think that's a little lower on my radar, my personal radar. But again, I'm not the crafting guy, so I only dabble. Let's see. So yeah, so it looks like there are a few problems here in Kroll. My guess is CPU bound, not GPU bound, just from looking at numbers. But again, that's one of the things you have to remember, is sometimes CPU bound is being caused by all the graphics stuff we're pushing. So simplifying the graphics will do that, because our number one time thread, because like when we're running at 60 frames per second, depending on the scene, roughly 10 milliseconds, roughly almost 2/3 of that time is being spent in Unity's rendering loop that is not parallel or not threaded, and runs on the main thread. And so it eats up 10 milliseconds of time on the main thread out of that 16 milliseconds we get. So again, that's one of those things we don't have a good way to hammer down, except to have fewer things in the scene and remove stuff from the scene. And simplify. So that's something that we're not going to be able to get around. The only way we could get around that, again, back to Tech Talk, is to switch to like one of the different rendering pipelines and rewrite it all ourselves, which is not really feasible. That's something that could possibly be feasible if you built from the project, from the start of the project and that existed. But even then, it's kind of rough. Sieges are bad for frame rate. Yeah, there's a lot of guys in sieges, but that honestly, the NPCs in sieges shouldn't be eating up that much. The NPCs, the time they're taking up is getting way down there as we continue to push for those things, as we're trying to, again, set episode 2 target numbers for things so that we have a reasonable, more realistic numbers for episode 2 for what we should be shooting for, so we can do episode 2 stuff or content right. But yeah, the NPCs are getting faster and faster and faster. And again, this is one of those things, if I can go to a space and stand... Thought I saw. So yeah, so that there's got to be. This is. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to tell because the GPU, the rendering thread, takes so much time on there. You can see, like, looking this way is 60 frames per second. Looking that way is 40 frames a second. Now, any reasonable game engine, that would, like, the logic would be I'm GPU bound, but I'm not GPU bound. I'm CPU bound. And my CPU is being bogged down by all the different objects being thrown in there. So, again, a little frustrating, but we continue to work on it. But some of it's just we got to go and tune specific areas and remove stuff from specific areas. Yes, and Vino Corlin. So that's the biggest killers of frame rate from when I've gone and profiled and hung out in PvP battles and PvE battles. Like, just going to upper tiers is pretty easy. The biggest killer of frame rate is actually another thing that we have trouble dealing with, which is what? Is this payback? But the biggest killer frame rate is players fighting other players using AEs. Which seems like, okay, well, the AEs are the problem. Well, the actual problem is the creating of the effects that get applied to everything. So it's you cast a ring of fire. The ring of fire is not what's killing the frame rate. It's actually the ring of fire VFX that get attached to people, and it's not even the actual VFX themselves. It's the creation and resetting of those things. So we use pool systems, again, for the somewhat techie guys out there. We do use pooled, all those things are pooled. But what we found is just resetting things, resetting VFX, is actually really really expensive. So even though we're using pooled, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're not recreating them every time, but just the resetting of those things, which is in Unity stuff, to reset to its initial state is nearly as expensive as creating a whole new one. So basically, we always save as we save on the garbage collection by using pools. But that is one of the things you should expect to see a big change coming up, because we will probably limit how many FX of specific types can be out there. Right now we use, as I mentioned, a pool system where we basically, what I mean with a pool is, instead of having, I need a fire effect, let me create the fire effect and allocate it and whatever. The pool system is you create like 10 fire effects, and then you just take one out of the pool when you need one, and you put it back in the pool when you're done. So again, though, the recreation of them, the resetting of them is the thing that's expensive. So we will probably start doing limited pools, because right now if you have a pool of 10 and you need 20, it'll allocate up to 20. Then it'll keep that pool of 20 around. So we're probably going to be limiting how many. So there'll be some times in like really hectic situations where effects won't get reset, or they won't get applied at all. You can imagine if you have like 5 guys all casting VFX, fire or whatever, or meteor shower or soothing rain or whatever, you're going to get a lot of effects generated, and that's what's killing the frame rate from what I've seen. Let's see. Shadowcasters. Shadowcasters should work. I'm not sure what Shadowcasters weren't working. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Confusion. Let me answer a few more questions. Oh, I never did my giveaway, did I? Let me do the giveaway for the fire thing. This is for the fire statue. Then I'm going to do one more before the end, which should have been 20 minutes ago. So let me do one. Stopped. Twilight Tempest. I will get you in just a second. Twilight Tempest. And I'll do one here, quick one. Do. And I gotta do debug off. And that was the fire elemental. There we go. Oh, I got 2 of them. So we'll do a second one of those guys here in about 5 minutes as I try and wrap things up. Oh, so my Unity editor just opened up in the background. You guys can't see what I'm talking about, but I still have the same freaking errors I had before. Hold on, I'm typing in all caps to my team. Yeah, so there actually, on the slider thing, if you come over here, there actually is a level of detail slider in here that you can actually see if you look at those trees. Let me do... Let me get a place where I can see a better direction. So you do have that slider in there. If you are on a weaker system or whatever, you can. That's one of the things. If you think you're GPU bound, you can turn things down here. And you can actually see it pop, like you can see over here on this, whoops, dog's in the way. If you look over here on this thing, you can actually see the LEDs pop on that. And obviously you can see in the trees in the background. Yeah, that's just going between the different LEDs. Again, if you're GPU bound, that can help. If you're CPU bound, it can help again because, again, the GPU or the render thread is the most expensive part, the render loop, which is in the main thread. Yeah, and we've had some different stuff along the way as to what render LED stuff does. We've got a couple of different culling systems. We use something called the layers system that's, hey, Nubby, that is simpler and it's faster than the LOD system, but it's not as good because basically you have two options. If you're using that system, you can set objects to show or not show. And you can have a range on them, but then the ranges have to be in categories as well. So you can have like a close, medium, far. It has to fall into one of those categories, and then it basically goes from off to on to off, depending on the range. Whereas the LOD, as you saw with the house over here in the trees, you can still show them and have something there. It just doesn't show them at full quality. Which, if you were at a distance, that same stuff that you saw with the LED, that's actually happening. You know, with the LED slider, that's actually happening. If you watch these little trees in the middle there, you just can't see it because it does. Oh, and you can actually see over there in that house. You can see it happen there too. On the house, that one's not a very good LED for that house. Should do better. But you can also see, like here in this one, you can see the LED pop out on that. But the trees actually do a good job. They actually have a blend. They blend from one LOD to another LOD. So these are actually going between different LED qualities, but you can't even see it. You can kind of see it a little bit there. And actually, you know what? That's shadow. The shadow rings is what we're seeing on that. But anyways, yeah, you can use the slider if you need a little more performance. And let me answer one last question real quick. And then I am going to hit the road and go talk to some people about some radio stuff. This is a good one because I've actually looked at this myself and I was surprised at what we put out there. Daniel JMCL. Can you replace the name Sea Queen on the huge pirate galleon homes with a flat deckable surface so runic letters can be placed there? Yes, I really want to do that. I hate that name there. I think I've commented on it on a few streams. So yes, I'm fully behind you. If I could ever get my Unity to work again, I would do it right now. But, oh look, Mohi's got his legs out there. Aw, sweet puppy dog. Just like a person where you stick your leg out from underneath the cover to cool off. Let us do another drawing here. I did not reset the drawing, so if you were raffled in the last one, you do not have to raffle. Whoop. You do not have to raffle again for this one. You're already entered. If you were in the last one, you're in this one too. If you want to, feel free to say raffle just in case. Raffle, 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 raffle. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Raffle, 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 raffle. Oh, I didn't even think about Kodo bundles today. Yeah, we can do something. What do I have in my... Hold on, this is not what the special is. I'm going to see what's in my special buffer. Oh, you can see this has not been updated in a while. Let me update this. Let's see. Hold on, I'll get you guys something here. I know that's why many of you guys come, is for my specials. Let's see. I'm not going to do fireworks. That's old school. That's 4th of July crap. Atos, I'll do an Atos cloak. And one free item up to 1,500 crown value. Here, how about that? Now I just need to stretch it. I'll look at the wall so I have a good background. Whoop. There you go. How about that? I know these become far more important since the sale just went by and you missed your chance. Or maybe you didn't miss your chance, but burn through your crowns. Let's see. Lancel, you never got... Are you sure? Oh, did you not get your fireworks, Lancel? Yeah, so if you do 100, if you do the big crown bundle, which you should do anyways, just because it's the best exchange rate, I'll give you... You can pick... just send me a email in-game for one item up to 1,500 crowns, and I'll send you the item. Do. And if you do any pot upgrade stuff, pot or lot upgrade stuff, you can apply some towards your, or I'll give you extra credit based on what you spend. So if you spend like 10,000 upgrading or whatever, I'll give you a house or whatever up to worth up to 3,000 or 33,000, 3,300. Let's do one more. Close the giveaway and pick the giveaway. And then I am... Oh, Elron, King of Elves. Let's see. You, sir, have won another flame statue thing. Because I am too lazy to do a different one. Bam. Sent. Enjoy. Place that deco in your town. What? So anyways, a little bit of a short stream today. Again, my hair is on fire as always, even more so thanks to some server emergencies and multiple runs to the post office and all the other jazz going on right now. But I need to get off so I can go have a talk with some radio people so I can understand what this radio stuff means and what we can do about it and what we can do to help out not just Avatar's radio, but also other people who want to get into radio streaming, because we're trying not to make this a, we're definitely not making Avatar's radio the official Shroud radio or anything like that, for both the, liability and unfair competition reasons. We just want to make sure it does not go away as a big part of the history of Shroud of the Avatar. But other radio stations are welcome. Again, I will probably start doing the fund. Maybe this month is when I'll do the first ones. At the end of this month, 10% of whatever I have, I'll go towards whatever radio stations are in need of support. I just had someone say I heard auto loot will be a thing. No, I don't think auto loot's going to be a thing. Come on, it's not that hard. But anyways, hopefully tomorrow I'll have, as you guys know, I usually get a lot of work done right before. Oh, thank you very much, VixCGMC. JixSigMC, I don't even know how that's broken up. Actually, tomorrow I will not get a lot done because of my play date with kindergartners. But Friday I'm going to get a lot done, and so hopefully I'll have some cooler updates for you on Friday live stream, which I think we're going to talk about. We may be doing it. Did Star set it yet? I think we might be doing it on the mannequin, which again will be a great one. I think a lot of people are excited about that, and having a mannequin they can put stuff out on. Let's see, did Lancel say what I was missing? Lancel, what am I missing? Lancel. But anyway, so hopefully we'll have the mannequin thing out there. I was hoping I could go test it and fix a few things on it right now, but I have massive editor problems going on. So, anyways, I'm going to go work on that stuff. Actually, I'm going to go talk to people about radio stuff so I can learn what radio stuff means and how it works. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much, and let's figure out who we're going to raid. Do 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 do. Boop 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 boop. All right, we got a few people here. Oh, I never heard who the person earlier was. Their name didn't match up with their streaming name, I think. Let's see. Fizzle, are you doing something interesting? Hey, look and make sure people are doing something interesting. Looks like Fizzle is watching. Oh no, you're hosting me. Okay. Let's see. It looks like Serial Noob is right there in the middle of things. Maybe I'll do a Serial Noob. Oh, he's getting quite a few followers there. All right, we're going to do Serial Noob. I think I've only raided him once. We'll give him a raid. Oh, you're too late, XX Killjoy. All right, we're giving Serial Noob a raid here. He probably already has all your follows. Looks like he's got 340 follows already and some people watching. But guys, again, thank you so much for patience with things and not being furious when our servers catch fire and burn. Again, kind of some extraordinary circumstances, and as always, we make sure and put up our lightning shield so lightning never strikes twice in the same place and all that jazz. Although it did strike twice in the same place, but it was only because we didn't have time to react to it before it struck again. But anyways, guys, thanks so much. I will see you tomorrow, or I'll get some slacker like List or Sanyo to come in and stream. And I will definitely see you on Friday. Guys, thanks so much. Let's go raid.